Hey guys, I'm Kirby Graves. I'm a local real estate agent here in the Triad, North Carolina, Piedmont Triad area, which is like Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point area of the Triad. I've been selling houses for about 7 years. With that, I've helped many buyers and sellers, over 100, find their home, sell their home, make a move either into the state or out of the state, or from one part of the Triad to the other. Help people in various situations, from avoiding foreclosure, divorce situations, just moving jobs, expanding families, all types of different situations. And with that comes a lot of experience with the real estate market. I've spent time, seeing houses fly off the shelves, and now we've shifted into a market that's a little bit different. And I wanted to, for that reason, talk to you guys a little bit about what changes in 2025 are happening to the real estate market. Compared to back in 2022, the spring market of 2022, we had less than a month's worth of inventory. And what that means is if you stop putting houses onto the market, how long would it take for the market to completely sell out of houses? And in 2022, that amount of time was less than a month. Flash forward to today, we have about the same amount of houses on the market as actually we did back in 2022, but it's taking double, maybe 3 times as long to sell the same amount of inventory. So right now, we're sitting at about 3.5 months of inventory. And guys, I've got to tell you, the sirens are off. This 3.5 months of inventory, almost 4 months of inventory, is a huge shifting point for the real estate market. Because historically speaking, when you get to above 4 months of inventory, we shift from being in a seller's market to being into a buyer's market. And what that means is a seller's market is a market for sellers. It's a market where it's easy to sell your home. It's a market where buyers are competing to get homes. It's a market where homes sell fast. We're about to transition from that kind of a market, a seller's market where we've been the last couple years, into a buyer's market. That means buyers are going to have the power, guys. And that could be good for you if you're thinking about buying a home. And if you're thinking about selling a home, you might be like, oh crap, what does that mean for me? So if you're a seller in 2025, you're going to have to spend a little bit more time up front working on your house, getting it ready for the market. This house behind me is a home that we sold in 2 days. It's in a good location, but we did a lot of things to get it prepared for the sale. So as a seller in a market where it's slower, you got to realize your home's going to be competing against more homes than it was when homes were selling quicker. So buyers are going to have the opportunity to compare your home to another home. They can go look at both of them. They might can come back for a second time or a third time and really make a decision about where they want to live the next few years of their life. And because of that, you've got to spend the more time and money up front getting your home ready for the market. This house, we put a new roof on it. The old roof had a leak in it. We could have probably repaired it and got by with it, but knowing that we were going to put the house on the market, we went ahead and put a new roof on it because we didn't want a buyer to see that and see big dollar signs that they're going to have to spend on the house. You don't want a buyer to feel like they're going to have to spend a bunch of money right now because they're already tight, guys. Interest rates have more than tripled since 2022, and that is a big reason why the market has slowed down. Because of the interest rates tripling, people's mortgage rates have gone from, on a home like this, maybe like $1,000 a month to up to like $1,500 or $1,600 a month. That is a huge difference in your budget. So no longer do buyers have the money to, get the mortgage and also put into their budget a couple $100 a month so that they can pay for a roof in a year or two. They're going to be looking for homes that have everything move-in ready, especially the major systems, the roof, the HVAC, the windows, all those things need to be in good working order so that you guys don't turn away any buyers. That's if you want to get top dollar for your home. Now, if you're a buyer, what does that mean for you? That means for you, you have the opportunity to negotiate for things like this. If you do see a home that's been sitting on the market for a while, maybe you can talk to that seller and say, hey, we'd be willing to put in an offer at your price if you guys would consider putting on a new roof for the house for us. There's a lot of options for buyers right now. The difficult thing for buyers is that the mortgage rates are high because the interest rates are high, prices are up, so that's difficult. But a couple things that as a buyer you can negotiate right now is closing costs. Closing costs for your loan, it might be $5,000 or $6,000. You can get the seller to pay those closing costs now. You can also get them to do some repairs if you ask. It's a great time to try to negotiate, especially with homes that have been on the market for a while. Sellers are in a position where they need to sell, and they will work with you. Now, they're not going to drop the price drastically because a lot of homes that are being sold right now are homes for baby boomers. They don't necessarily have to sell from a financial standpoint, but they need to sell because they've got too much yard to have to maintain. Their expenses from a medical standpoint are going up, so they can't spend as much on their home. The house may be just too big for them if they're empty nesters, and they're spending lots of money on maintenance and time and paying effort on maintenance if the home is too big for them. So there are pain points. Doesn't mean they're going to just drop the price drastically or that you're going to be able to get a steal in the market. But those items that are causing you to hold back as a buyer, or maybe have caused you in the past to hold back, this is a good time to negotiate for those things. The upfront closing costs, the cost of doing repairs, lots of great ways that a buyer can take advantage of this market and get a great deal. If you are a seller who is thinking about making a sale, but you're like, hey, I've got a 2.5% interest rate. 2.5% interest rate or 3% interest rate, there's no way I want to sell my house. But maybe you have other debts. Maybe there's some other things that you could do if you could extract that $100,000 worth of equity out of your property. There's a lot of people in that situation. And what I'm going to tell you is that you can qualify for a new home, maybe even a bigger home, as somebody who wants to sell their current house and buy a new house. And maybe during the process, you can eliminate some very expensive debts, other debts that you have. Let's say, for instance, you got $100,000 in equity in your home, and you also owe $20,000 on your student loans, and you also owe $20,000 on your vehicle. You got $40,000 in debt. Almost guarantee that those interest rates are higher than the 2.5% or the 3% interest rate that you got on your home. But what you could do is you could extract some of that equity and pay off those higher interest debts by selling your home. And you may even in the process be able to get a bigger home. And let me just take you through an example. So if you got the $20,000 that you owe in student loan debt, you got $20,000 that you owe on a vehicle, you got $100,000 that you have as equity in your home, but maybe your family's expanding and you need a bigger home anyways. You've been thinking about selling, but you're like, hey, I can't get rid of this low mortgage payment and switch it out for a higher mortgage payment. Well, one strategy you could do is that you could sell your home. You could take that equity and pay off your vehicle, pay off your student loan debt, which then decreases the amount of money that you're paying in mortgage and debt payments every month. And that will make up the difference in the payment that you're going to have to make on your new, bigger home. So if you've got the truck loan and the student loan debt, but you got the equity in your house, you sell your house, You use that to pay off your truck. You use that to pay off your college debt. You take the rest of the equity that you have, use it as a down payment on your new, bigger home, and you'll be able to sell your home, pay off the rest of your debts, qualify for a bigger home, and have at or near the same amount of debt payments going out every month because you got rid of your car note and you got rid of your college debt note. It makes a lot of sense for people. So if you guys were considering selling your home in 2025 or considering buying a home in 2025, I hope you found this a little bit of a market update to be helpful. Again, get the home sold like this quickly. Do the work up front, have the landscaping done, have the roof done or the paint done, fix up the broken windows or whatever eyesores that are going to be obvious and expensive for the buyers. And let's get your home sold in 2025. Let's get you moved. Guys, don't stay locked into a house that's not working for you guys. There are options for people, especially folks that are going to sell and buy this year. Use that equity that you have, get your family into the home that you deserve, and along the way, maybe pay off some other debts too. Well, I hope you guys found this useful. Again, my name's Kirby. I'm a real estate agent here in the Piedmont Triad area. If you guys are looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the Triad area, give me a call. Let's talk about it. I'm here to help. Thanks, guys.